While the microwave shortens the time it takes to get a meal from the oven to the table, reports of food poisoning outbreaks have and others concerned. So could undercooked microwavable meals be making us sick? Megan Murphy, executive editor of Good Housekeeping, is back, along with the chief of my medical unit, Dr. Michael Crupain, who was on the USDA National Advisory Committee on Meat and Poultry Inspection, where he provided guidance on how to better label frozen food. So he's the expert on this stuff. They have some common microwave misconceptions that, well, they can make us sick. Things to watch out for. So Dr. Crupain, first of all, he says that all frozen meals are pre-cooked and only need to be warmed. Might be a myth, a misconception. Is it?
This is a big misconception, and this misconception is a big food safety problem. And a lot of people have gotten very sick from prepared frozen foods, things like stuffed chicken or pot pies that are called not ready to eat, which basically means that they're raw.
So it looks like this is frozen chicken stir fry. It's fine.
That's right. So
so to speak.
That's what it says. And you look at the package, that's a big problem, right? Because this is actually a not ready to eat food, but it looks just like a ready to eat food. And
how do you know it's not ready to eat?
Well, if you zoom in down here, it's really small and it's really hard to see.
I'll blow it up for you.
And it's
so
really
I took
subtle.
This and made it that.
That's right. Here it says cook thoroughly, and that's kind of the only clue you're going to get there. So it doesn't say raw, it doesn't say anything, it just says cook thoroughly. So, but if you do what most people do is they treat it, they have a habit, right? They buy something that they think is ready to eat and they just throw it in the microwave for 2 minutes. But that would be a big dangerous mistake because it's raw. Right? So it can have bacteria in it.
Cooked thoroughly is the only thing you're going to see that warns you about that?
That could be. So what the big thing is, here, it says see back panel.
Yeah.
You've got to look all over this box, and you've got to find those cooking instructions. On something that's not ready to eat, they're not a suggestion. They're a requirement for safety.
All right. Next up, and this is the big misconception, is that microwaves cook from the inside out, which is, frankly, I thought this was true. I've heard this all along.
No, so microwaves cook from the outside in, and the heat only really penetrates about 1 inch and 1.5 inches. So if something's really thick, ultimately that cooks via conduction. The heat's going to work its way in there. So best practices for the microwave is lower temperature, longer time.
And it'll say it on there, I gather. You'll know that.
You need to read instructions, and most people don't.
Okay. Finally, biggest misconception that Dr. Crupain is going to point out to us is that if it feels piping hot, right, it might not be done.
That's right. Who hasn't taken something out of the microwave and you take a bite and you burn your mouth, and then you take another bite and it's freezing cold? Yeah. That's because the microwave doesn't cook everything evenly. So, you like interval training? You want to do interval cooking in a microwave. So you want to cook something for a few minutes, take it out, stir it up, turn it over, put it back, make sure it's done. And then if you're using a meat thermometer, if you're cooking meat, you want to put it in multiple places to make sure it's cooked all the way through everywhere.
You know, we take for granted the microwave because we use it so frequently, but these are 3 really big issues we got to address to make sure it's safe for us. Otherwise, from what I can tell, it's pretty good, right? Saves you time. I know you're using a lot of it. Keep using it. By the way, Dr. Crupain's book is called What to Eat When. It's coming out soon, so make sure to pre-order it. And I want to thank Megan and the entire Good Housekeeping team for being the angels that they are. We'll be right back. Nice job.